Moving on, let's talk about Thomas Skinner. Let's talk about Thomas Skinner. Let's talk about Thomas fucking Skinner. Most of you guys know who Thomas Skinner is. If you don't, he is this UK influencer. I would say he kind of does like, what does he do? He essentially talks about his family, talks about himself, talks about the great British spirit, English, all this sort of stuff. He's kind of, you know, he's always showing his cute family on social media, doing these type of posts. I'll show you what he kind of does. Stuff like this. Right, where is it? Right, we're off to the gym. It's us and the family. We're on holiday. Like this one. Let's this one. Like that.
Happy Saturday, you lovely people. Now the sun might not be shining, but it's always shining round my gaff. And we got the Traeger on, all the sausages, all the chicken breasts, a little bit of lamb, and the lovely halloumi. Let's let it fry. But guys, it's a lovely day. Come round here, look. They're all here. There's a snake. Right. Here the kids. Wait, Henry, say bosh. Bosh. The kids are here fighting. Right, they've been fighting all afternoon. We're on the beers. No ideas. Follow me, Ben. Ryan here, by the way. Yellow badge, Ryan. Right, Dan, hey, Dan, you all right, mate? Right, so coming up. Right, last time you see her, she had 19 kids. How many you got now? 20. 20! There he is, Sean. Green badge. What have we going on? My beautiful wife. How are you, baby? Snub. Have a lovely Saturday, whatever you're doing. On the beers, no ideas, get on the steaks. Abba!
So, yeah. So, and they actually compete. Him and this other guy compete for the Bosch saying. But essentially, that's what he does, right? He's a British influencer. He's come into a bit of spot of bother, in it, recently. Because he puts out some, you know, thinly veiled, what you describe as to be Tory talking points, kind of nationalist sort of stuff, but you know, standard like bloke from the UK promoting being a family, being an husband, all this sort of nonsense, right? But he's always talking very glowingly about his life and his family, wife and his family, life and his family, wife and his family. Well, the story went like this. Randomly, some journalists, right, rocked up to him and showed him something on their phone, which caused this controversy. It says, Strictly Come Dancing, Thomas Skinner, sorry for grabbing a reporter's phone. So this is how it all kind of laid out, right? So he goes somewhere, a reporter bumps into him, shows him something on his phone. I'm assuming a story. He doesn't like what he sees. He grabs a reporter's phone and he dashes it. That's what starts the whirlwind of like, what's going on? What was he so afraid about seeing on the phone? Why didn't he want to see the phone? Why did he let the reporter ask him questions? Then, randomly out of the blue, it comes out, this story, courtesy of The Sun, where it says 5 days later, right? Tom's affair shame. I cheated on my wife just 2 weeks after our wedding. It's the biggest regret of my life, says Strictly Come Dancing star Thomas Skinner. I don't think he's known for Strictly Come Dancing. He's known personally for his social media. But I guess that was the reason why he tried to grab that reporter's phone and dash it somewhere. Because that reporter probably showed him a story they were working on, which is this story, and probably wanted a comment from him, as you do as you're a journalist, and he didn't react, he didn't like it too well, he didn't like that too much, and dashed the phone in anger. Which obviously destroys his image of being this like perfect husband, family man thing, if he's out here cheating on his wife, especially 2 weeks after a wedding. Usually, guys, I'm not sure, I don't know, I'm just speaking out of the blue because I'm not fucking married, but I'd imagine, if you do get married, I'd imagine as a red-blooded male, you probably tell yourself, even if you were like the biggest cheater ever, right? Even if you made fucking the biggest cheaters in the world look like fucking amateurs with your cheating, surely you say to yourself after a wedding, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna chill. You give yourself like a 1 year amnesty, you know, maybe 6 months amnesty, but you definitely don't go out on the lash. You don't go out trying to like, you know, score, trying to smash 2 weeks after your wedding. You don't do that. Even if you're the biggest scumbag, you kind of lay off a little bit. You kind of have to anyway, because most likely, if you've got people like, imagine if you're cheating, imagine if you get married, and then you post all your pictures on social media, and you're still hitting up girls in the DMs. That looks kind of crazy. So you're probably going to give yourself a bit of a chill because those pictures are going to be fresh. You're also in another bit of you're also another phase in your life. You're kind of loving your wife. Maybe you've grown to love her even more now. Maybe you're regretting what you did before you were married. But whatever. You look at the marriage as like a turning a new leaf. I'm going to cut him some bail here. You look at the marriage turning a new leaf. What you don't do is this. This is pretty abhorrent. I'm not going to lie. 2 weeks after a wedding is fucking insane. Because when you do stuff like this 2 weeks after a wedding, even I as a red-blooded male, even I as Mandem FC, right, as the chairman of Mandem United, I'm always gonna back up my Mandem. But I have to say, even if I hear this, even as a fella, I have to say, if you were doing that 2 weeks after, what were you doing 2 weeks before your wedding? What were you doing 4 weeks before your wedding? 4 months, 6 months? What were you doing? Because this is pretty insane to be cheating 2 weeks after your wedding. Let's actually play the video where he kind of confesses everything.
But 3.5 years ago, long time ago now, but my biggest mistake of my life. I got asked to do like a free bit of treatment of attractive women, I suppose. Seemed a nice person.
Attractive woman, I suppose. What does that even mean? Is he trying to say? Is he trying to say without saying that he kind of had to do it because she was hot? What do you expect me to do? You know what I mean? She's basically just standing there. I had to fuck her, innit? Like, what do you expect, mate? She's fucking breathing. Of course I had to lick her tits. Oh my God. I don't know what the treatment means, by the way. I'm not sure what treatment means. Is it maybe because it's part of his work? I thought he's a builder or something. Maybe it's not. Maybe he does other things.
There was a single mum. I just trying to help promote their business.
She's a single mum. I'm giving back to the people. She's a single mum. I'm just trying to help, really. This is the thanks I get. Next minute I know, she's bouncing up and down my cock. Just trying to help. Next thing I know, she's bouncing up and down my sausage.
Made the biggest mistake of my life, and I had a fling, I suppose. Like, it was nothing more than that. It was
had a fling, I suppose. She was really attractive, I suppose. Bro, just say the words, man. Just say the words as they are. You fucked this lady. Imagine somebody asking for some free promo on it, but again, like, not to cut him any slack, but women aren't shit, really, innit, as well, right? The real enemy of women is other women, innit? I keep saying this. My favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes, I think you should also get tattooed on yourself, whoever you're listening, right? The real enemy of women isn't men, it's actually other women. Because we have to be honest, this guy's content was always centered around his family. His whole feed is him and his family, him and his adorable kids, his wife. His whole feed is his family. His whole feed is his family. His whole feed is his family. So if you're a woman and you willingly fuck this guy, you know what he's about because you come across him on his content via Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, because of how he is as a family man. So then inviting him to do some work for you for free or whatever, help you out, and then you fucking him is like, that's deplorable. When you know he's got a woman, you know he's got a missus, you know he's got kids. That's deplorable, to be honest. Yes, you should have more self-control. It's always going to say responsibility should always be on you. As a red-blooded male, as a guy who, you know, read fucking Jocko Willink's Extreme Ownership many years ago and doesn't stop talking about it, it is all your fault. But that lady still, man, come on, bro.
It was the one time. It was a mistake. You know, I woke up.
It was the one time. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Don't lie. Don't fucking lie. It was the one time. Maybe the one time with her, not with others. No way. The fact that you're cheating 2 weeks after your wedding, that means you're a real dog. You know what I mean? That's dog to dog speaking out here. Dog to dog speaking, you're a real dog if you're out here cheating after 2 weeks after your wedding. You do not give a fuck. There's no way I believe that's a one time only thing. No way.
Feeling absolutely terrible about it. My wife, since I met her, I changed my life around, and I let her down in that brief moment of madness where.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? You can't say you let her down in that brief moment. You should say you let her down in a big way. It only was a brief moment, but I'm still trying to regain her trust till this day. You shouldn't say, oh yeah, that brief, because he's trying to. It's almost like he's trying to minimize the impact it had because it was a brief moment. It only happened once. Because I don't know, if you're a woman. And you find out your guy's cheating, and whilst you're arguing, he's like, babe, I only fucked her once. That should make you really angry. Because it's not really about how much it happened. It's not about how many strokes. It's not about where it was, whether conscious or not. That's not really the problem. The problem is it happened, right? So a guy trying to like trivialize it minimize it by saying, "Oh, it's only once." That's all it takes, though, isn't it? Well, you only need one bad impression. Well, you only have to make a bad impression once to get seen a certain way by certain people, really and truly. So he made a fucked up mistake, but it's just a message he keep putting out there about, you know, being this ideal husband, family guy, and all in all, here's what he's doing.
Where I weren't thinking, where I didn't appreciate what I had, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I told my wife, you know, my wife's the best thing that ever happened to me. Listen, I know everyone goes, we've all made mistakes, but it was a mistake that...
Why do people do that? Why do people who get caught out with stuff like this, who get exposed, why do they have a tendency to say, we all make mistakes, I'm not perfect? The same woman, I heard that woman the other day actually in a documentary. The documentary about the catfishing. That one on Netflix is really good, by the way. I recommend you guys check it out. That one on Netflix is about the young girl from in a high school who ends up getting catfish harassed by somebody, and then that catfish harasser ends up, you know, harassing her boyfriend at the time, all her friends, and she ends up, you know, catfishing and harassing everyone at the school. And spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, it ends up being the mum, right? And in the video where she confesses, she's almost like, oh, everyone makes mistakes. What do you mean everyone makes mistakes? No, normal people don't just harass their fucking daughter, you know, via a fucking dummy account or whatever, or a burner number, because they're jealous of their daughter or they secretly want to fuck their daughter's boyfriend. No one does that. That's not normal. Let's not minimize or trivialize what you've done. What you've done is fucking abhorrent and disgusting. Same goes here. Like, you don't just say, oh yeah, everyone's made mistakes. It doesn't lessen what you've done, you know? Yes, people make mistakes, but it doesn't make what you've done any less than what it is. And if you're really sorry, just say, yeah, what I've done was really fucked up. Just own the mistake and keep it moving. But this, like, diminishing and trying to pour cold water on the mistake and not make it a big deal, it's like, it is a bit of a big deal because you're sitting down with a son now, having an exclusive with a son. So it is a big deal to you.
I'm so lucky that she forgave me.
Do you remember when you had to tell her that you made a mistake, your wife?
Oh, of course, it was the worst thing I've ever had to do.
When do you say it though? When did you tell her?
It's terrible, you know, like. But
I'm curious to know when you told her. Did you tell her after it happened? Straight after? Or was it like just before this story came out?
I'm a very, very open book, I suppose, and I don't hide anything from my wife. Do you know what I mean? And that, you know, I'm just so lucky that she forgave me. When I told my wife,
to be fair, the most forgiving people in the world, I think in general, the most forgiving people in the world, the most forgiving women in the world are definitely Essex women. That kind of like chavvy Essex woman, they forgive their dudes so many times. Like Rooney specifically. Look at Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney's wife, Colleen. Like, how many times has he fucking, you know, he's smashed like old age pensioners, like prostitutes. You know what I mean? Remember that story when he was at United and he went to that whorehouse and he banged that old lady? Like, not that it matters that they have to be like attractive or young, but Rooney's cheated on fucking Colleen Rooney like a million times. Look at fucking Conor McGregor's wife. You know what I mean? That type of brand of woman, and I don't know how you described them because I think Conor McGregor's wife might be gypsy or something, but that type of, like, you know, blonde, Essexy, McMansion type of woman, for some reason they don't leave quick. They don't leave fast. It takes a lot to kind of break their trust or break their hearts. They forgive a lot. You know, they take up a lot. Maybe it's because of the money and the you know, they maybe because they favor family. They like to have a family unit and be together and raise their kids under one roof and shit. I don't know. But he's probably lucky that's the case, you know? She's not gonna, even with all this, there's probably a bunch of women online that are probably harassing her and telling her to break up with him and divorce him because she deserves better. But even under the pressure of other women, she won't leave because, you know, they just value family. So he's kind of lucky that that's the case, but yeesh. Especially parading your wife around the way that he did on social. To end up doing all this shit is fucking wild. Let me see another video, because he was online acting like he was fucking dad of the year, mate. But really and truly, he's out here fucking doing a madness with his wife. And look, he's got a beautiful family. How you gonna do that? I don't know, man. There should also be a limit to cheating once you've had kids, or a number of kids. If you've got like 3, you should be too busy looking after them to be really out here smashing randoms. To be honest, right? If you've got 3 kids under the age of 6. You should probably be too busy to even cheat in the first place. I'm not gonna lie. If you've got enough time to do that, then you're not doing enough. Let's just check a video.
Good evening and happy Wednesday, you lovely, lovely people. Now, firstly, I hope you had a fantastic day. As you can see, I am looking cream crackered because I've been double busy, out to work in my van. But we are now back home with this little rat who's got dirty feet and he's sitting on the table. I'm going to smack his bum when we got the video, aren't I? No. We've got the little twinnies here, the gruesome twosome, the absolute rats, and my wife behind the camera gets prettier every day. What have you done, babe? Spaghetti bolognese from a packet?
No, of course not.
Homemade. And what is this cheese called?
Some cheese.
Some cheese. Let's go. We never look when we pour the parmesan all over the spaghetti bolognese.
It's just, I don't know. Look at him. Look at this guy.
All right, you lovely lot. Right, I'm trying to relax on the sofa. The press at West Ham got battered, and I've got these three little rats trying. What are you trying to do? I can look, can't even sit on the sofa in peace. Like, you little nutters. I wish you all a lovely Saturday afternoon.
Hello out the wife in the background ducking out the way, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I've always said, and I think for women it's kind of counterproductive because it sounds like you're hating. But those guys who are very public with like loving my wife, loving my family types, they're usually demons. They're usually dogs behind the scenes, you know? They're usually dogs behind the curtains. You get what I mean? They're usually dogs away from prying eyes. Those guys who are exactly bigger on those guys who are like the traditional wife guys, the ones that a lot of women kind of think that they want. Oh my god, I want this guy who's gonna be this way and boast about me and post me all over. It's like, okay, cool. That guy's gonna be a dog behind the scenes. Dog, the type of person that would fuck your sister. The type of person, you know what I mean? The type of person that will fuck your sister type of shit. Those persons they're not to be trusted in my opinion. But again, I could be wrong. Let's continue with the video.
I fully understood if she was to never speak to me again, you know? Like, no one else made me do what I done for that. Just shows you that just 10 minutes can ruin your whole life, you know what I mean?
Was that all it was? 10 minutes? Is that how long it lasts? 10 minutes. I ain't got much in me. You see me. I'm a big lad. I'm not gonna go for hours. My heart wasn't even in it, babes. My heart wasn't even in it.
Maybe I'm exaggerating, but like, I'm just saying, like, it can just, that brief can ruin your life.
What was her reaction when you told her?
Well, obviously distraught, upset, didn't thought, oh, I'd do that to her, and I've done it. You know, we've got 3 beautiful children, we've got a lovely home, you know, we're a family unit, we're stronger than ever. But that part in our relationship, in our journey was a very, very dark time, and my wife didn't never deserve that, you know. She's such a good person. Like, without her, I wouldn't be where I am today.
I like how he's talking about this like in the past tense, like she's over it. She probably isn't over it. I'm sure every time she looks at him, she pictures that lady. You know, that's the thing. He's talking about like he might be over it, but I don't think she's over it. Let's be fair. I don't think she was ever over it. I don't think she was ever over it.
She made me, you know. And I'm just lucky that my wife is who she is, because my wife is my rock, like, and she's the person that I adore more than anything in the world.
Stop trying to convince us, brother. You're the one that fucked you. You're the one that cheated on your wife, bro. We don't need to be convinced. Convince your wife, mate.
And I let her down, and I'm ashamed that I've done it in that brief moment of madness. But it is what it is. Yeah, I'm so fortunate my wife's given me. Like, she didn't deserve it, you know, and I was in that very, very brief moment.
You keep saying brief moment. It doesn't make it less worse, mate. Just because it wasn't long, just because you didn't spend a weekend with this lady or something, just because it wasn't passionate sex over like several hours, doesn't make it worse. He's acting like, oh yeah, brief moment. She literally couple of bounces, that was it. Couple of swings of the hips, that was it. Nothing else. Doesn't make it worse, mate.
A selfish person. For anyone that's made a mistake, the best advice I can give anyone is to be honest and own up to it. And
LOL at him thinking we need his advice, bro. That's fucking hilarious, man. The narcissism is off the charts. I could give people. Now he wants to give people advice. Now he's in influencer mode. Fucking gotta love it.
In an incredible place now. It's forgotten about and we've moved on from it now. We've got over that terrible part of our relationship, which I made happen.
I feel like we're gonna get like a 5 minutes later skit on this. We're over that. We're in a good place now. I feel like we're gonna get like a 5 minutes later. Honestly,
You know, it wasn't down to her. She didn't do anything wrong. We wasn't arguing. It was just me in a moment of madness.
oh, honestly, fucking brilliant. Absolutely fucking brilliant. He also cried. I don't know why they didn't get the footage of him crying. I wanted to see him crying. I wanted to see him sobbing and crying. That would have been good. That's the other lady in question. What's her name? Amy Lucy Roke. She's got that chin that all the girls have, by the way. Big up her, but she's got that chin that all the girls have. They like that pointy chin, which I personally not the biggest fan of, but you know, girls seem to like that sort of shit. There she is, right? There's the lady. Nice couch though, by the way. She's got a lovely couch. That house looks like it's very, very nicely decorated. That's for sure. Manicured as fuck. Toes probably looking on fuck too. That's the wife. That's the story, right? You think that's it? No, but that's not it. That's not the story. It doesn't end there. Because she decides to share a post talking about narcissists, the fling. Amy Lucy O'Rourke. She decides to go on social media on the offensive and kind of clap back at what Thomas Skinner said. Thomas Skinner's fling, Amy Lucy O'Rourke has taken to Instagram to share a post hitting out at narcissists, cry bullies, and victims. Exactly. Hours after the Strictly Come Dancers admitted their affair. The Apprentice star 34. Bloody hell, mate. That's a rough 34, though, by the way. That is a rough 34. I think people are lying about their ages nowadays, too. That could be the case, too. Maybe people are just lying about their ages so they can appear younger. But if that guy's 34, then Jesus Christ. The Apprentice star 34, who's set to compete in a new series of the BBC show later this month, admitted that he had a 2-week fling with Amy Lucy after his wedding to wife Sinead. Amy Lucy, who runs, by the way, that's a mad name, isn't it? Amy Lucy, a double barrel. That 2 first names, Amy Lucy. What? Who runs a weight loss and aesthetics clinic in Brentwood, shared the post on Instagram stories. A weight loss and aesthetics clinic. Okay. It reposts a quote that says narcissists are cry bullies. A cry bully is someone who plays the victim in a situation they created. Exactly. That's Brendan Shaw, really. Speaking candidly about the fling for the first time, Thomas told of how he met Amy in a pub after taking her up on an offer for some free cosmetic treatment. Oh, okay, cool. She offered to give him. Rah, this is a common thing, innit? Do you remember that famous story about fucking Samir Nasri cheating on his wife with a woman that was doing like IVF treatments or something? Was it not IVF? So IV treatments. This is like a common thing. This is a common thing. Like when they approach you for treatments, usually it can be double barreled. You know, it can be treatments about treatments or treatments. Double entendre, let's say. The T personality went on to reveal that he had a 2-week fling with a beauty clinic boss and was fortunate that Sinead forgave him. So he says brief moment, but it was a 2-week fling. The couple, who share a son, Harry, 5, 2-year-old twin daughters, Roma and Darla, married in 2022. He told his son, I had a fling. It was nothing more than that. It was a one time. It was a mistake. Can it be one time if it's over 2 weeks, though? I guess it happened once, occasion, but it's not one time, though, is it really? There's a post she did about cry bullies. Set the record straight during interview. Yeah, just during the interview. During one interviews, a journalist placed their phone on the table to record a conversation. I happened to catch a glimpse of the screen and saw numerous messages, not about Strictly, but about personal story from my past. I've been through some difficult times in my life, which is why I've worked hard to move on from. In that moment, seeing them caught me off guard. It felt like was the best to step away and gather myself. This had nothing to do with interviews or Strictly itself. I'm sorry I picked up someone else's phone and I wouldn't ever know if it's a journalist. What I will say, this fucking guy. And then of course the story gets worse because the lady decides to reply via her Instagram story. So set the record straight completely, right? This is her setting the record straight completely. I'm assuming she's probably setting the record straight because a lot of women are probably coming after her because this Thomas Skinner guy was very publicly married and in a relationship and in a fucking loving family. So, you know, they're not too happy about her fucking him in the first place. But she's probably going to argue that she didn't know that he was married. Let's see what she says. This is her statement. Big up Mukhtar for posting this. He told me Sinead was a traveler and was trapped in this sad relationship that made him into an alcoholic and cokehead. Oh, this guy's a real piece of shit. This guy is a real piece of shit, isn't it? Real piece of shit. You get caught cheating, then you blame your wife for turning you into an alcoholic and a cokehead. Wow. Wow. This is some real top level. If he ain't gonna get broken up with, if she ain't gonna leave him for the cheating, she'll probably leave him for this. This is some diabolical shit. Throwing your wife under the bus like this and trying to blame her for your adultery and for your addictions is like, ooh. And because he'd had a baby with her, he was stuck with her. He said she was a good girl and she was good to him, but they'd never been in love. He was stuck in a relationship and they were just like friends and lived completely separate lives, and it was completely loveless. I swear on everything that I hold dear, he told me he'd never even told her he loved her. Why on earth would I want someone else's man? How and why would I even make the story up? Oh yeah, see, so she's getting a lot of hate on her side from the women, saying, "Hey, you did this to a family man. You're a whore." So she's like, "No. He told me he was looking for a relationship, basically." I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm not the biggest fan of like smashing girls like this. Not the biggest fan of it. I know guys count this as a win, but I think if you have to lie to a side piece to get her to fuck you, I don't think this is good. You know? I don't think this is good. Like, if you have to lie to her, like, you should be honest enough to say to a side piece, like, hey, I have a family. I have family that I love. My wife has done nothing wrong, but I just, I can't, my dick just gets hard all the time. So I have to do what I have to do. You're better off doing that and then letting her decide what she wants to do than coming into it saying, yeah, I want to divorce her. We're not really together like that. That's loser game. Loser game. I don't rate that in the slightest. Those lies. It's like telling somebody you love them just to smash as well. I don't rate that at all. I don't think that counts. That's not a W in my opinion. He sold me a sob story, made me feel sorry for him. He was out drinking and doing coke all the time, and I said that shit won't fly with me. If you want to be with me, you have to be normal. You have to be normal. But I love this girl. You have to be normal. Being normal is not drinking or doing bumps or lines. No, thank you. Oh, this girl talking amazing. You can't go out all the time, and he said he wanted to become healthy, eat healthy dinners, start exercising, and live a normal life with me. And when I say to you, this man was obsessed with me, I've been love bombed before, but this was fucking different. I had absolutely no idea he was going to hurt me, let alone that everything he told me was lies. Oy, 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 oy. This picture that on the front page is less than 2 months after the wedding. We are out in central London. He has not got his wedding ring on. We had been to a meeting in the morning, then for lunch, then for dinner, everywhere holding hands, having a lovely day. How do you do that with a wife and a family at home? Yo, there are some guys out there that just roll the dice, innit? Imagine if you get spotted by somebody like, what are you doing, bro? At this point, he told me him and Sinead had separated amicably. He told me they separated. I was completely fucking unaware he was actually happily married, just living a double life. He told me that he'd never felt he told me that he'd never felt the way he felt before about me. He manipulated me. He's a liar. He's a narcissist. Women love calling men narcissists, isn't it? I wonder if that kind of just softens the blow for them, because you kind of got duped by one, though, innit? You got duped by a liar. You got duped by an alcoholic cokehead. You know what I mean? You can't really like, score points here. You can't really spoil points here, because I watched that video and he doesn't look like a good liar to me. At the end of the day, this absolute troll, you can't call him a troll. You can't say this, because I guess she's trying to say that he's ugly, right? But you let the ugly guy fuck you, innit? Like, I don't get why women do this and think it's a win. Calling a guy broke and saying he's a troll, saying he looks like Shrek. Bro, because I think she posted something on her Twitter, right? About him looking like Shrek. But surely you can't say that. You can't have, that's not a win. Because you let the broke Shrek looking guy fuck you. So it's like, who really won, who really lost? This absolute troll convinced me that he loved me and I saved him from his sad life and made him think I was in love with him. Absolutely broke my heart. Played fucked up mind games till the very end. You don't even know the half of what I went through, the tears I cried. It has 100% affected me in relationships. Dating is hard enough in this day and age, let alone now. How am I supposed to believe anything a man says? I'm the victim here. I'm the victim here. Okay. I guess she's right in a way, innit? I guess she is a bit of a victim in this because people are thinking she's the perpetrator, but she is kind of a victim. I get what she means. So tell me, why should I have to keep quiet? Watch him on a family BBC show banging on how about much of a lovely family man he is. The public deserve to know the real him. True, to be fair, true. And I'm a big believer in that. If you decide to involve somebody, if you decide to fucking step out of your relationship and go, do your thing as a guy, you then can't be mad at that person that you involve or that you interact with or you end up smashing. You can't be mad if they have their story to tell because you went out. You know what I mean? If you don't go out, there's no story to tell. But if you step out, there's a story to tell and you can't control it. It doesn't matter if they tell story 10 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later. It is what it is. You did the thing. So tell me why I should keep quiet. The public deserve to know. I won't be explaining myself any further. I've got business to run and a life to live. Big up her. So this was Monday. On the Saturday just gone, he'd been at a wedding with Sinead, playing Happy Families, but reassuring me all along. So this is them out. This is them out and about, right? I don't know. It's a bit shaky, isn't it? It's a bit shaky because as much as I'm blaming the dude, it's a bit shaky because let's just say it was a one-time only thing and he did make his excuses and never contacted her again. I get that she's annoyed by seeing him on TV a lot with his family and stuff, but surely if you're a woman, because she's a single mom herself, right? Maybe that's the reason why. Maybe if you're a single mom, you've got more vengeance in your heart because you've already been heartbroken by the first dad, by the first, father of your child, and now you're getting heartbroken again. So if she is a single mom, I get why she did this because she probably doesn't have any patience. She probably has she probably doesn't give a fuck. Like if a guy looks at her wrong, she's gonna blast you in the face. So I probably get it. But if she's not a single mom, then it's a little bit bad mind, isn't it? Because you see him on TV, he's playing Happy Families. Who knows? Maybe he is a reformed cheater. Is it, knowing that he's got a family and stuff, is it really cool to out him now? Because you're going to be hurting his family. You're going to be potentially hurting his kids, breaking up a family. Is it really cool to be, if he's still out there doing it now, cool. But should you be really doing, I don't know. But again, I go back to my point. He's the one that approached her. He's the one that started to, you know what I mean? So it kind of is what it is. And I think sometimes as well, women are really good at social media, right? Women can be really good at kind of snooping and keeping an eye on their man and shit. But I find that sometimes women who do this sort of stuff, who get involved with guys in relationships, they love to play, they love to play ignorant. They love to play unaware, uninformed, That's the thing I don't like. It's hold on. You're always aware and you can understand when something's happening, you can spot it. But then when you gain something out of it, suddenly you turn blind. Suddenly you're unaware. Suddenly you didn't know. Because you could tell from the videos that he wasn't playing. That wasn't a fake. That were actually, do you know what I mean? That were actually in love. If anything, if you're the side piece and he's telling you he's in love with you, you should be convincing him, or you should be telling him as an ultimatum, if you want to continue doing this thing with you, he has to publicly break up with his wife. Or he can't do public things with his wife on camera anymore because it's upsetting you. You'd have to say that sort of stuff, But yeah, man, wild story, wild story. Most likely this confession, this outburst, this detail from this woman, I think will have some irreversible damage to this guy's relationship. Because I think before what he said in The Sun made sense in terms of, he told his wife, she fucking, she agreed, she kind of got over it, I think that probably did happen, right? I'm pretty sure that he probably did tell his wife, and his wife was, I wouldn't say she was okay with it, but she probably did move on. Him and his wife probably do have a good relationship. He probably told her and she was okay with it. But once you start telling the side piece stuff like, oh yeah, my wife is a traveler, she's a gypsy or something, and I'm trapped in this loveless marriage where she's a friend and I don't really love her like that, but I can't leave because I'm sure she's not aware that you're trapped. So yeah, I don't think she's going to receive this too well. Then he posted a statement, I think. Where is it? He posted a statement After the fact, he said as follows: "My life ain't perfect, far from it. I've made big mistakes. I've let people down, done things I've always regretted in my past. The worst was when I did it to my wife my 3.5 years ago. One stupid moment I'll carry forever. It was nothing more and nothing less, despite what's being said. I told her straight away. She had every right to leave me back then, but she forgave me, and that forgiveness changed my life. Since then, we've built a new home. We've got 2 more beautiful children. We've moved forward together. We're stronger. We're a family. Everything is to me. Family is everything to me. That's what that's what I do everything for. But I've noticed I've become a target. Every part of my life is being dragged out, even my family's. That's what happens when you're a social media influencer, bro. People around me have been offered big money to sell stories. I've noticed I'm being portrayed in the public enemy number 1. They're trying to break me. They got me cancelled. And if I'm honest, I'm not sure why. I know what it's like to be low and down on luck. It's the whole reason why I spread positivity online. Because I know what rock bottom feels like. I've been there many times. I'm not some full-time celeb in the bubble. I still graft. I still have to go to work. In fact, I've been working this morning before I started strictly training. I've taken an absolute battering online and in the press, and I'll take more. I was told it would happen. First they'll attack me character, then me family, then me income. It's happening firsthand. Most of what's said about me isn't true. I've got thick skin. The abuse and death threats don't bother me. In fact, some lies make me laugh. But please leave my wife and kids alone. I did this to them by my silly moment and my madness over 3 years ago. No one else. If you want to go for someone, go for me. But that's a problem though, my friend. When you do what you did, you bring your family into it. And to be honest, we can't pull your family out of it because your family are a big part of your content. Your family are the reason why you're famous, essentially, right? It's not just because of you, because of what you represent in your family. So you can't really, put your family to one side or not include your family because your family are you and you are your family. In my life, I've lost close friends. I've lost family. I've got mates doing life in prison. Ooh, dangerous man. And yes, I've got extremely checkered past. But more than most, I've never shied away from that. I've never shied away from that. I've made mistakes. He loves saying mistakes, isn't it? Mistakes. If you dig, you'll find more. But here's the truth. Most people have made mistakes. It's okay to own up to them. It's okay to talk about them, and people do deserve second. By the way, he didn't own up to it. He didn't confess it to the public. He didn't need to, don't get me wrong. But that woman exposed him. Now he's confessing it. Let's relax. At the end of the day, it's about getting back up, rebuilding, looking after your loved ones. As long as I've got my family, I'll never stop fighting to be a better man. I've been forced into a corner to bring up something my wife and I have moved on from years ago. I feel so bad for my wife to have to go through this. It's humiliating for her. Well, you should have thought about that before you stuck your willy in somebody else, mate, shouldn't ya? I'm sure I'm going to be forced to talk about it to other moments that have happened in my life. I'm not sure why everyone's so interested in me. Oh, come on. Now he's a victim. Don't know why people care about me. You know why they care. You make them care. But if I'm completely honest, no one else's opinions matters apart from those I care about. I never take any criticism from anyone I wouldn't take advice from. Oh, all right. Ooh. That's the truth. It's all worth it. Is it all worth it? We keep going. I know what is right and what is wrong. Love you all. Have a wonderful Monday. Great start of the week. And remember, you are 10 times stronger than you ever imagined. Bosh. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right. But that's how it ended, isn't it? That's how it ended so far. Thomas Skinner being exposed as somebody that maybe, just maybe, isn't the perfect family man as he likes to paint himself out to be. Maybe he's not the perfect family man he paints himself out to be. And let this be a warning to all women out there. Let this be a warning. This is what wife guys are about. Wife guys are 50-50. Either a wife guy is super committed and all about you, or a wife guy that's super public and committed about you, but in his private, whenever he goes away, whenever he's away from you, he's a dog. So don't judge other men because of their inability or unwillingness to fucking be public and shit, because it's not true. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way, okay? But hey, what do I know? Absolutely nada.